Hello, everyone, and thanks for joining us for Access City Council. I'm your host, City of Las Vegas Communications Director, David Riggleman. On this show, we are very excited to introduce you to the new Ward 2 City Councilwoman. She's with us now, Victoria Seaman. Congratulations. This is your very first Access City Council show. Welcome.
It is, and I'm so excited. Just thank you for having me here.
Of course. Congratulations. You won the election for Ward 2 on June 11th. You were sworn in on July 3rd, and you have been running, I think really since before the election, certainly, but most assuredly after the election. You've been working very hard.
Absolutely. That's what I campaigned on, and that's what I plan to do, is work really hard for Ward 2. As you know, we had a vacant seat for a while, so there was a lot of catching up to do.
I know. You know the ward well. You've lived out there. I'm a resident of Ward 2 as well. You and I live out there. It's a wonderful part of the community. You know it well. If you viewers out there aren't exactly sure where Ward 2 is located, well, don't worry. We're going to show you right now on the map. It's basically the area of the city sort of west of the Rainbow Curve. It's that area down there with the big 2 on it, appropriately enough. You've got a lot of growth taking place west of the 215. That's exciting in Ward 2. But if you live in that area, work in that area, then you're in the city limits of the city of Las Vegas. And as of July 3rd, you are represented by Victoria Seaman.
And I am honored to represent Ward 2, and I thank all the voters for having the confidence and trust in me that I'll represent them well.
Now, you are not a stranger to elected office. You served in the Assembly, the Nevada Assembly, representing basically that area
Half
of town.
Of Ward 2.
Exactly right.
Yes.
This is a little different. Rather than statewide issues, this is local stuff.
And I love the local issues. It is, you're closer to the constituent.
Yeah.
And they call you up, they email you, and it's about real issues of the community.
It's so true.
It is, and I love it.
Your parks, your roads,
yes.
You know, the neighborhood you live in, crime, whatever it might be. It's all about the things that are closest to home, literally.
Right,
So.
and that's why I decided to run, because as a leader of the community, people were always reaching out to me, even after my tenure, and I loved being a public servant.
You know what, you posted that right away. I love this. One of your first Facebook posts was, "Thank you, Ward 2, for allowing me to represent you. It's truly an honor. Looking forward to working with Mayor Goodman and the council members for the city of Las Vegas." And this is your day that you were sworn in. Of course, there was a big crowd there because in addition to you, Councilman Knudsen and also Councilwoman Olivia Diaz were also sworn in that day. So all three of it. That was unprecedented because we had to go back a long way before we could find a time in the city of Las Vegas history where 3 council members were sworn in at the same time.
And 3 of us were assembly members together and served together in the state legislature, and we have the first majority woman city council.
Exactly right. Exactly.
Yes.
4 of the members of the city council are women now.
Yes,
and
that's correct.
That's a trend in Nevada because the assembly this past session and the Nevada legislature as a whole also had a majority of women.
That's correct.
Yeah. Councilman, tell everybody out there, you've been a public servant. What are some of the things that you really would like to see accomplished in Ward 2? What are some of the reasons that you ran and some of the goals that you have set for yourself?
Well, crime is a big issue in Ward 2, and that's one of the things I want to sort of wrap myself around in the beginning of this tenure, but also businesses. Mm-hmm. I'm very pro-business. I was a businesswoman, and I really want to go out and be part of the community in promoting those businesses. Mm-hmm. So there's a number of things, and like you said, I just rolled up my sleeves and went to work. And you know, as situations come up, we're on them.
Yeah, exactly right. Exactly. It's exciting because it's one of those things where people. When you work at City Hall, you really have the sense that you can help people in the basic things they need in their lives, the things that are going to affect their family, their kids, just their everyday. And there's something fulfilling, I think, and gratifying in being able to fulfill those needs for the community.
You are so much closer to your constituents, and it feels good to be able to have the trust that they can come to me, and no matter how small the issue, I'm there for them.
Yeah. Well, one of the things I love about you is you've got a lot of passions. Business is certainly one of them. serving the constituents, but also you have a passion for recovery. And I wanted to tell everybody out this as well. You posted this on Facebook. Mobilize Recovery. Thank you for letting us be a part of your amazing event, the Recovery Advocacy Movement. Councilman, I know all of you new council members have passions. This is one of yours, recovery.
It is.
And this is a big issue across our nation,
It is.
people who are battling addiction.
I think that addiction has touched everyone's family. And this is an important issue that I think we haven't really spent a lot of time with. So I have made sure during my assembly tenure, and even after I was out of the assembly, that I worked with places like Foundation for Recovery and the Recovery PAC in doing what I can to help. And so it's a big passion of mine, and I'll continue to work on recovery.
We know certainly the opioid crisis across the country. Of course, people have a variety of substance abuses or addictions of many different types. What was the reason that you were so interested in this? What was the connection to you to the recovery side of things?
Well, we all know people that have been touched by it and addiction, whether it be opioids. But lately we've seen a lot of people, a lot of friends, a lot of leaders in the community that have lost their children to addiction. And, I have a daughter, and it's really important for me to understand what people are going through. So I will do everything I can to work with recovery.
Well, it's certainly a very appropriate passion to have, because it's become such an epidemic across the United States.
Certainly has.
And
we can do more.
I think that's the message, is that, and I think we have to do more. We need to address the issues.
Absolutely.
So, well, good for you on that one. That's excellent. And I have to marvel. You're a very energetic person. You work very hard, and you never seem to slow down. And right after you were sworn in, you had the swearing in on the 3rd, and then on the 4th of July, which was the next day, you hit the ground running out there. You posted this on Facebook. Great day with Councilwoman Diaz, Mayor Pro Tem Michelle Fiore, and Councilman Stavros Anthony. Bright and early the next day in your ward, it was the annual Summerlin Patriotic Parade. Always on the 4th of July. This is the 25th anniversary, I believe, this past year, and it's always a huge turnout, despite the weather. It's
so true,
warm.
And an honor to ride on that fire truck. That was amazing, and be with our first responders. That was an amazing, and it's my ward, and I go there every year for that parade.
I know. It's fun. It's fun. So, the day after you were sworn in, and then it was a long day, because right after that event, with all the people out at the parade, then there was a big event out in Ward 6 at Sky Canyon Park. This was Ward 2, Ward 4, Ward 6, big celebration, but it was a concert, a get-together, and then a huge fireworks display that took place afterwards.
Yes, this is one that Mayor Pro Tem Michelle Fiore and Stavros Anthony put together, and it doubled in size.
Yeah.
And it was just an amazing event to see what they put together for the community. And you could tell when I walked around that the people just loved being there, loved a place to gather on the 4th of July that was safe, and they could enjoy good music, good food. So I think they did a great job on that event.
I think so too. You know what I love about it too, Councilwoman, is we've heard so much about illegal fireworks, and I know there's been an effort certainly to try to curtail the illegal fireworks, because it's dangerous. We've had fires and people injured, etc. And what I love about that event is it was a great place to go and gather, as you say, a safe location.
One of the ways, yes.
And it was a great fireworks display. It went on for a
absolutely.
while, and the best part, you didn't have to spend a nickel to see it. It was all free.
Right, it was all free.
Right.
So they did an amazing job. And, I got to say, Mayor Pro Tem puts on some great events.
She does.
I have competition here.
Yeah, that's right. She raises a high bar out there. And so one of the things, too, we've got a lot of traditions in the city, that's for sure. But I love this, is that you're starting sort of your own traditions, which are great. I want to tell everybody about this. You're starting something called the Breakfast Buzz. Now, this is going to take place. The first one's going to be on August 17th, everyone. But tell everyone, what is the Breakfast Buzz all about?
I always did coffee with constituents, and I thought it would be a great tradition to start breakfast with the councilwoman, like breaking bread together. People come, they have breakfast, they feel comfortable, they grab their breakfast, they sit down, we eat together, and we talk like in a family type atmosphere about the issues and concerns.
Yeah. There is something about breaking bread with someone. It kind of breaks down all
barriers.
Exactly.
All barriers.
Because
You're sharing a meal together.
Right, and then you're just, and it just opens the lines of communication. It's amazing
correct.
how that works. Now, this is just kind of an informal thing, obviously, where people can just come and relax and bring any issues to you, talk with you about whatever might be going on in Ward 2, and just exchange. They let you know, and then you can maybe offer some solutions, or at least let them know that, yeah, we'll work on it. Yeah,
we're going to check into it.
Yeah.
But also, if they just want to come and have breakfast with me, that's fine. They don't have any issues. That's okay. We do want to break bread and let the community know that we're there for them, that I am their public servant, and that, you know, this is their ward.
And that's what's nice, too. I think it sometimes here at City Hall, there's this sense that we're just these kind of nameless, faceless people that are behind the, you know, the glass windows. But a lot of hardworking people here at all levels,
Absolutely.
council level on down, trying to really serve the community. And it's just a way for the community to know who's representing them, and also some of who works at the city and who's going to take care of their needs. Your staff members, for example, that would be there, and they can talk with them directly as well.
Right,
so it's a good thing.
And sometimes they just don't know who to reach out to, so we're going to make it easy for them.
Right. And as the city, even if it's not something that we have purview over, we'll help you find the right place. That's one of the things we do here a lot. It's like,
Thank you.
That's not a local issue, it's a federal issue, but this is who to contact, you know, or whatever it might be. Or that might be our issue to work on, and we'll take care of it. Right.
And I have to say, the staff here has been amazing.
Well, you've been
helped
working very
me
hard.
navigate through all the things I need to navigate through, because, like you said, I want to roll up my sleeves and get to work, and you're only as good as your team.
True. And there's a lot to learn. The city has 17 different departments, a lot going on, ranging from, you know, your sewer service all the way to the municipal court and everything in between. So it's a lot to learn for a new official coming in. It's a lot. But we've all been there. All of us who work here, we've been right where you are now, and you learn it fast because it's just part. So it's a passion. It's the work that you do.
It's a passion, and everyone is so helpful.
Breakfast Buzz is going to be Saturday, August 17th from 9 to 10:30 at Rachel's Kitchen. That's the one out on Trailwood Drive. Come on out. It's going to be an opportunity to see the councilwoman, get to know her. If you have an issue, if you don't have an issue, just come on out and visit with her that morning.
Let me mention it's going to be on the patio.
Okay, very good. So the patio that day.
It's early, so the weather should be good.
Weather will be good. They have misters out there too, so you'll be in good shape.
That's great.
So, and then Councilwoman, another wonderful event coming up is your dive-in movie. And you posted this on Facebook. You said, "Please join us to cool off and enjoy a great family film." Good old Wreck-It Ralph, there he is. But this will be Friday, August 9th, 7:30. And this is wonderful. This is a tradition that's been going on in Ward 2, but this is where you can come out to the swimming pool at Veterans Memorial and also enjoy a movie.
And dive in and watch the movie in the pool.
A dive-in movie, see? That's right. That's very good. So that'll be a really good time, especially for kids who are getting ready to head back to school for the next school year. It'd be an opportunity to enjoy a film, swim in the pool.
I'm excited about that.
And then get to work
yeah,
the following
that's going to be a
Monday.
great event.
Exactly. And then, Councilwoman, you have another event that we want to tell everybody about. This is your Dash and Splash. Now, this is going to be on the same day as the Breakfast Buzz.
Correct.
So you're going to be busy that morning.
Yes.
But the Dash and Splash is going to open before the Breakfast Buzz, but it starts at 7. Race begins at 8. And tell everybody, what is the Dash and Splash all about, Councilwoman? It's an opportunity for people to just come out there and
absolutely.
It's a swim race,
yes.
right? Yeah.
Yes, and there's a lot of events out there with that pool. Have you been out to see that pool?
It's beautiful. It's a covered pool, which is really great.
Right.
It's
probably one of the biggest and nicest pools I've seen.
Beautiful.
So I think people should come out, see the pool, and they can use the pool. Yeah. They can use the pool on the regular basis, and so it's important that they come out to that event and get familiarized with it, and we're excited about it.
That's a great complex out there. You've got the Veterans Memorial Leisure Service Center right there, the pool, and it's right next to Palo Verde High School. All that's
correct,
kind of one big complex out there.
A lot of things to do out there, a lot of classes.
Yeah. And then you've got churches that line that area too, so it's just a great community hub right out there. So.
Yes, and we're going to be letting people know about more events out there.
Exactly. Speaking of more events, I love this too. We want to let everybody know that you mentioned this at the beginning. One of your passions is business and helping promote business, especially within our ward, but across the city. You're starting a new program where you highlight businesses in Ward 2 and help maybe draw some attention to what they're doing and maybe the unique services that they offer, because a lot of people may not know just what's right in their neighborhood.
That's right, and that's why we're doing this. So we are going out. We started August 3rd. Every Sunday, we will feature a business on our social media, and we want to know your story. So all you need to do is contact us via email, phone, or our social media, and we are absolutely happy to film your business and let people know what you do.
This is great. This is a wonderful opportunity. We do a little feature like that on Channel 2 and on social media called Open for Business. It's about new businesses. This is going to be about businesses within Ward 2.
Correct.
And there are a lot of great businesses out there, again, that people may not even know exist. Providing a service, maybe it's a restaurant, maybe it's whatever. But you're going to help get the word out.
We're going to help get the word
they're
out.
there.
Yes, and we want to promote businesses in Ward 2 by letting people know that they're there. Because the first thing is people walk by a business and they won't know exactly what that business does. So that's what we're going to be doing, and we're really excited about that.
I know that you and your colleagues also want to try to help make the city as business friendly as possible, kind of cut through some of the red tape, help cut through some of the red tape. If people are coming in to get permits or whatever it might be, to make it easier rather than more cumbersome, etc. So before the end of the program, we'll tell you how to get in touch with the councilwoman. But the bottom line here is that if you are interested in having your business highlighted, we want to make sure that you reach out to the Ward 2 office.
Correct.
Contact them. Probably the best way is through email.
They can simply reply to our social media posts.
Okay, perfect.
And we will reach out to them once they do.
Easy as it could be.
That's very easy.
And then who knows, you might be featured in one of the upcoming installments. All right. Well, Councilwoman, we need to take a short break right now, but when we come back, we'll introduce you to Councilwoman Seaman's staff. That's next, so please stay with us.
Doesn't see race. Love is love.
Wow, these are really good.
You act surprised. Practice makes perfect.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of teens in foster care who don't need perfection. They need you.
Behold, the angry giant. Behold, the angry giant. Behold, the angry giant. Behold, the angry giant. It only takes a moment to make a moment. Take time to be a dad today.
Welcome back, everyone. Councilwoman Seaman has great staff members in her office who help keep Ward 2 running smoothly. With us today is Mr. David McGowan and Mr. Brian Baltazar. And these are the folks, if people contact your office, this is generally the first line of who they're going to speak to, probably, right, Councilwoman?
That's right, and you're only as good as your team.
So true.
And so I brought my own team aboard, and they are the ones that are going to make me look good in Ward 2.
Well, Councilwoman, why don't you tell us a little bit about David, a little bit about Brian, and how you guys, you've worked together in the past, some of their background, and I think they're going to be perfectly suited for doing what you need in your office.
Absolutely. Well, I've known Dave for years, and we actually brought him over from Henderson.
Stole him away.
We did, and we took some time, but we were able to bring him over, and he also has worked on my campaigns the last 2 campaigns I was involved in. So we know each other really well.
So he knows you and what your passions and what your basic platforms are, of course.
Exactly. And so bringing him aboard, he knows exactly what I would like to accomplish in Ward 2. And then I have Brian Baltazar, who I have known for years, and I actually brought him up in 2015 to the state legislature.
You guys worked there together, yeah?
Yes, he was my attaché for a couple months up
Outstanding.
there. And so I think I brought the best team I could bring aboard with me, and they seem to work well with all the employees of the city of Las Vegas. So I think we're going to do great things in Ward 2.
I think so too. Dave, let me tell you, let me ask you, what, when people contact the office, what are the things that really are helpful for you guys to know? What information, especially if they've got an issue, what helps us get really onto something as quickly as possible?
Well, whenever we get a call on an issue, is details. You know, if we get a call, there's a pothole in the road. Well, where is it? Right. Well, it's at
Give
my
me a
house.
landmark. Yeah.
Okay, I haven't had the pleasure of being to your house, so can you
help me out a little bit? Yeah.
The most detail, especially if you're reaching out to us by email.
Yeah.
Name, address, what exactly the problem is, and we will be on top of it immediately.
Yeah, that's good advice.
So it's details.
Imagine that we don't know anything about what you're trying to tell us, right? And so give us the big picture all the way around. So,
and I think something else that's important is something that you touched on is maybe it's not a city issue. Maybe understanding that we are that first door. Brian does an amazing job when someone reaches out to him.
He does.
And says, I have an issue with, say, getting a smoke detector installed. Well, that's not us, but Brian's right there with resources where they're available, at a low cost.
Right.
So it wasn't our problem, but we solved the problem, and that's what the councilman has tasked us to do, is to solve every problem, whether it's through the city or through another resource.
That's a good approach all the way around. Brian, let me ask you. You've been on the job now a few weeks. I wouldn't say you're exactly a veteran yet, but you've been around the block here a few times already at the city, which is not bad. You just started. What are you hearing from the constituents? What is a typical issue out there that if you could tell people that are listening to this, watching this, this is how to solve the problem? What are some of the common things you hear that you've been able to help people with?
A lot of the issues that we've been able to help address for a lot of the residents of Ward 2 really have to do about safety, ensuring that their communities, that their homes are safe. And so that's really one of the most important issues that we continuously get, whether it be a mysterious car that's parked out in front of someone's home for 4 or 5 days, or just making sure that the parks, any activity that's going on at night, that's addressed. So it's really just about maintaining security and safety within communities.
Being safe. And Councilwoman, that's one of the things that you talked about at the beginning, safety, crime. People think, well, there's not any crime out in Ward 2, right? Well, we have home burglaries out there, vehicle burglaries, incidents, as Brian alluded to, in Park. It's certainly not, I wouldn't say it's running rampant, but it's certainly something that all of us are concerned with, because as those that live in the neighborhood, we see it firsthand.
Yes, absolutely. And doing town halls with Metro is very important, because we want to bring people to meet Metro and talk about the ways that they can keep themselves safe, because there are things that the constituents can do to keep themselves from harm.
For sure.
And so we did that. I did that when I was in the Assembly. I did it during my campaign, and I will continue to do it as Councilwoman for Ward 2, is bringing the community together with Metro. And just this, every time there's a town hall, I learn something new.
Yeah, for sure.
As many times as I've done it.
We have a wonderful partnership with Metro, especially with the Northwest Area Command, which is going to be your neck of the woods there. Captain Sasha Larkin, she does a wonderful job.
We have a new substation, and she will now be the commander of that substation.
Exactly,
yes,
and she's really been a wonderful partner with the city. Helped us on a variety of levels, and a lot of the issues are like you guys are saying. It's security, safety around your home, your vehicle. Right. This is where you live. This is where your family is, and so it's especially important that you feel safe in those places.
Yes.
David, let me ask you. As far as working with government, tell some people out there, we've talked about this a lot, people have misconceptions about what it's like to deal with government, often, don't they? If they don't work for government, they think, oh, government is X. And I think we try to work very hard every day to show that that's not the case. We're trying to do a great job here and serve our community, right?
Oh, I think you're absolutely right. I think most of the people that have that misconception have never truly interacted with city government. They've never brought a problem to them. They've never seen how it's addressed. They've never seen it come to a successful resolution. Yeah. They just feed off a stereotype. You know, government worker this, government worker that. But when they actually engage with us, and I've had just, you know, today's my 7th day, but just in the phone calls.
You are an old veteran.
Just in the phone calls.
Brian's got you beat by like 21 days.
He is senior to me. But just people that I've had this is the first time they've ever reached out to someone to deal with a problem, and within an hour of their email, they get a phone call.
Yeah.
It's
then impressive.
The next day, they get a resolution. And then that final phone call, giving them that resolution, they're like, wow. I didn't expect to ever hear from anybody. I didn't expect this kind of level of service. Thank you. Yeah. And I think that's how you push back against that stereotype.
I agree, David. And I think there's so many people at all levels that are trying to work hard like that every day here at the city. And I think that's obviously what we want people to see. So.
Absolutely.
Brian, you've worked at the state level, in the legislature. Now you're at the local level. What are some of the big differences there? What are some of the key takeaways you've seen and just the difference between those two levels of government?
It absolutely has to be the level of support. Everyone here has been absolutely supportive, has shared their knowledge, has walked us through the processes of learning to be able to better serve the constituents and residents of Ward 2 and really across the city. I mean, the support that we have here is phenomenal. I don't think we would be able to do what we do without everyone's support. So in just the level of resources, I come from nonprofits, so just the amount of resources that are available to residents, it's incredible.
Exactly, take advantage. Great advice. That's really great advice. Well, Councilwoman, we are running low on time here, so I'll give you the final word. Anything else you want to add here before we say goodbye?
Yeah, I just want to say, please let us know if you have an issue or concern and reach out to me. Come to our events just because I want to get to know as many people in Ward 2 that I can. So
that's great advice. And you know, David will be there, Brian will be there often, other city staff. Just a great way to connect with the Ward 2 office. You have an issue, if you're a resident out there, it's a great way just to say hello and to create a relationship with those who work to serve you every day. So, well, we want to tell everybody out there, great job, all of you. We want to tell everyone, we always want to hear from you out there. So if you have something you'd like to share with Councilwoman Victoria Seaman, you can find her on Facebook and Twitter. You can see she's very active. You can also contact her just by picking up the phone. The number is 702-229-2420, or you can send her an email. The address is vseaman@lasvegasnevada.gov. And one of these folks will get back to you. They've done a great job. And I think you get the sense that they're going to take care of whatever you need out there. So, Councilwoman, great job on your very first show on Access City Council. Hopefully you haven't scared you off. You'll be back in 6 weeks, right?
I'm excited.
Okay. Very good. Well, thanks so much. Great job again, everyone. And we want to thank you for joining us for this edition of Access City Council. Don't miss our next show beginning on August 22nd with Ward 6 City Councilwoman and Mayor Pro Tem Michelle Fiore. You can catch all of our KCLV shows on Apple TV, Roku, and Amazon Fire. And don't forget, you can watch us live on the internet at kclv.tv. Thanks for watching, everyone. We'll see you next time around.